The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome all to a beautiful day at the headquarters of Technical Trading and Investing, TFNN.com. Today we celebrate Veterans Day. And while the war didn't officially end on this day, the end of hostilities, the last shooting of World War I started on this day, 11/11/11, at 11 o'clock and 11 minutes. And is generally regarded at the time as the war to end all wars. Well, we know one thing, that is that human nature hasn't changed. We might get smarter and smarter. But eventually the people that talk will fail in negotiating a good outcome. Evil will come and try to present itself, and in those times there will be war. We've seen several wars since then. Kind of naively thought in 1918, the war to end all wars. Well, you didn't go 20 years and you were right back in the thick of things with World War II. But the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And it is Veterans Day, started for that day. Most people don't know that the World War I memorial, nowhere to be seen in Washington, D.C., because it is in downtown Kansas City. It is down there. It's got a giant mall. It's got a giant tower that's, 10 stories tall or something. And it looks out right over the downtown train station. But mostly forgotten today, built there because, of course, at the time, the gentleman that was getting the cash was a senator from Missouri, soon to become a president from Missouri, and that was Truman. But I always remember taking some trips in buses downtown to go through it, and the memorial as it is. But if you ever get stuck in Kansas City, you can always go check out the Veterans Memorial. Interesting. We played a little lead-in music today. I think my favorite song from World War I was that Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. Veterans Day has become, of course, more about veterans from later wars, as most of the veterans from the First War, I think all of them are gone, aren't there? I think the last one died off some years ago, of course. The one that's probably found the most play as a celebration of veterans has been Good Night Saigon by Billy Joel. But there are others. But remember to remember your veteran today. Other things going on. We've got a defacing Facebook, Andreessen Horowitz. It is one of the huge funds out in California, one of those Menlo Park outfits on the Appian Way. If you've never been out there and begging for money, like I have been, trying to start a startup at one time, all the big hedge funds and the startup kings are out there on one big road. But Andreessen Horowitz, of course, he came to fame by pushing out Mozilla and the basic first browser to compete with Internet Explorer. Anyway, they sold about a third of its Facebook shares above $49 to $50 per share. We're starting to see a lot of insiders and big hedge funds start selling. Of course, we saw Carl Icahn dump a lot of Netflix. We're starting to see more and more of these. And at the end of the day, if you own more than 5% of a individual company, you have to file this. And of course, what we found out is that they dumped a lot on Friday. So as we saw pressure on Facebook, elephants can't get in and out of a pond without leaving some ripples, and I think we've been seeing at least some of those across the last few weeks in Facebook, or the Facebook, D-Facebook, as I like to call it. On December 21st, a big movie about Wall Street's coming out. Not a lot of positive movies of people that donated lots of money to charity on Wall Street. Normally, they're not too good. Wall Street, the movie, the same bunch. There is a black chapter in Wall Street known as the Pump and Dump. Probably the king of that was Jordan Belfort. He was a notorious stock swindler who did all kinds of boiler room pump and dumps, probably the king of them. He spent all his money on cocaine, prostitutes, and wasted the rest. That's my opinion. Anyway, he spent all his money on that stuff. Apparently hid a lot of it, is what most people think. Went to jail, but on December 25th, the big new movie's coming out, and this is a movie done by the king of probably these kind of northeastern movies. He did Casino and a lot of the other mob movies of his time for the direction, but DiCaprio is going to star in it. Going to be a big deal. But for the most part, not. The reason I probably bring it up more than anything was I read a big article this weekend, and Cheech and Chong, Tommy Chong, got sent to jail for selling what was the equivalent of a bong. And it didn't matter that he tried to engage the law as much as he could. And rub their faces in it, but his business was very tough on the way it sold things, so that there's no doubt as to the legality of it. And the DEA, I think, either 50 or 100 times tried to get one of his employees to sell one of these bongs so they could indict and send Tommy Chong to jail. I didn't really have any problem with him selling stuff. It's probably was semi-illegal, but he was doing everything he could. But if the government wants to get you, they're going to get you, and they wanted to get Tommy Chong as a big bullseye out there. He ended up spending his time with Jordan Belfort in prison, and much like the movies that we saw where some prisoners were living like in a 4-star hotel, Tommy Chong and Jordan Belfort did. He said Jordan had the entire prison wing wired. They had a garden outside. They paid people to do all his work so he could sit inside. Basically, I don't think he was rehabilitated at all, and certainly didn't have a hard time in prison. He's out now. He has to pay about $110 million in restitution. He's paid about $10 million of it, and in this new movie, there's a lot of discussion about whether or not he's kicking any of this money back to the people he defrauded over time. But if you're interested in movies about trading, or you missed the wonderful phone calls from these boiler rooms, you might catch that. It comes out the 25th of December. Bloomberg tanks several China stories. I've been talking about this for a while, and that is, do we really have a free media? And especially when it comes to China, do we really know what's going on? A few more times people have broken stories out here about things that have happened in China. We've seen Google leave it. We've also seen some news departments just decide to not cover it because of the intervention of the Chinese communists on what they can and cannot say. Well, what we find out now is Bloomberg's been spiking stories for about a year about some bad things going on in China. And when I say I don't like investing in Chinese stocks, This is the reason why. I have no idea. We also know that they have a liberal agenda when it comes to their books and reporting and their banking. Now, I have no idea that any specific stock has problems, but even on this one, a wealthy Chinese billionaire ties to government and him paying off people inside the government, fearing the story would lead to Bloomberg's eviction for the country, they decided not to publish it. But invest as you will. I kind of steer clear from China if I can, and investing in Chinese companies, mostly because I can't depend on any kind of news out there that would let me know truly the problems that China is having. If you reported them, you're probably no longer a journalist if you're from the United States, and if you're from China, if you're lucky, you're in a slave camp. If you're not, you're probably in a ditch somewhere. But just take that when you're investing in these Chinese stocks. Just know there is no free reporting out of China, even though we might think so, because news organizations file stories from there. But keep an eye on it. It's a gas man. On Friday, Luminant is a big company building nuclear reactors. These two were in Texas. And the reason I bring this up is that there was some argument about the application, and they probably could have gotten through it. They've decided not to go after and work on getting these new nuclear reactors applications reapproved. And when you actually talk to them, they go, yeah, it's uncool that the government's doing this. On the other hand, we probably wouldn't get the money to continue this because of the low price of natural gas. So natural gas has its goods and bads, but right now it is extremely low in price and causing real problems for any kind of nuclear energy to go out there. If you're trading all those uranium stocks, that may be one thing to think about. Of course, it looks like Southeast Asia is going to be one giant nuclear reactor from the speed at which those people are building them and using power. Today, 30 years ago, Bill Gates came out and introduced Windows for the first time. And it'll be a kind of interesting retrieval. The product wasn't even kind of usable probably until 1988. Microsoft always took the Japanese approach, which is just make it 1% better every day. Just make it 1% better every day, and in a few years it'll be good enough. And that's what they continue to do. I really didn't even like it until they got into Windows XP, but there were much better versions of GUIs, graphical user interfaces. Anyway, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. And email me at path, P-A-T-H, at TFNN.com. We'll try to answer your question today, either on the air or via email. We'll be back in a minute.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And, of course, we're always interested, especially me, about technology and how well the war is going on between Apple and Google. I'm figuring we can write off RIM finally now. I hope nobody out there is still trying to cling on to that tar baby. But anyway, it is one of the features of Google's Nexus 5. We talked about that, was that it, very, very nice hardware, but at $350 off contract, very inexpensive. The question is, if you get a car that does 180 miles an hour, it's $50,000, and you have to pay $100,000 to get one that goes 10 miles an hour faster. Is it really worth it? And that is, I suspect, the way that the war is sharpening up between Apple and Google. What we do know is that the reviews are really starting to come out about the Nexus 5. I talked about this phone a couple of weeks ago, and everybody, I went and played with it a little bit. It may be my next phone. Very nice phone, and of course, because of all the work they've done on the operating system to make sure it works on less fast and less expensive equipment, when you get one of their flagships like this, it absolutely rocks. Anyway, they're doing a lot of benchmarking between it and the new iPhone 5S, and it is pretty hoopy. It's getting extremely good reviews from the community out there. And the question is, are you willing to pay off contract, whatever it is, $700 for an iPhone compared to $350 for an Android? And got to be an interesting idea. I suspect it's going to be a hard sell in less affluent countries, and I think that's exactly what Google is looking at. They want to have a flagship product that can sell for $350 on the very high end of their product line. I think they are looking at a market that at the very top end is fairly saturated. It's all those people that have regular phones that could go to smartphones over the next few years where the growth is going to be. But a lot of good reviews this weekend for the Nexus 5. And that's it. In fact, why don't we take a quick look at Apple here in just a second. Let me AAPL. Of course, like the general market and why I haven't been really working on it, we're really not getting a lot of movement out here. 1771 on the S&P cash. We're up 0.75 of a point. We've got 1.65 billion shares. There's just nothing going to happen, probably not going to happen anytime soon. And probably a little on hold this week. I suspect, though, this very light volume at these highs is yet another warning signal. We've seen a lot of stocks blow apart at these high levels, and that is it. Anyway, give me a call, 877-927-6648. I'd appreciate your phone call. Get started off on the right foot this week on a Monday with some poignant and good phone calls. I expect a full report from you gentlemen on a Veterans Day. Anyway, that was pretty much it. Probably not a lot else to talk about. I know we had trouble in the Philippines with a giant hurricane. Several of my good friends have brothers that live in the Philippines, half brothers anyway, and they haven't heard from them yet. So we can all send out some white light to my friends, transplanted Australians living in the Philippines, and hope that everything is okay. Of course, don't have to be in the front lines and have your city washed away just to lose electrical power and communications. So not going to get too excited here for a little while. But I just met these guys at their brother's funeral just about a year ago. I guess going to be a year ago in 1 week. So I hope those gentlemen are doing fine out there. Anyway, yes, it's not a whole lot of movement. Probably why we're going to have a quiet day out here. But just keep an eye on it. 1.6 million or 1.6 billion shares on the New York Stock Exchange tape. 1.7 now is going to be quiet. Oh, I was going to get into Apple. Apple's at 519.12. When we look at a lot of options out here, this looks like we're at the very high end of the range for expiration in Apple, so I can't really say that we're looking at a lot higher for Apple or the markets themselves. The markets are actually, the options are showing maybe slightly down, but we'll talk about that. Give me a call and think about Tiger Dollars. You want to buy Tiger Dollars. You're buying Tiger Dollars. We'll talk about that when we come back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. It's that time of year again, and our semi-annual Tiger Dollar sale is back. For a limited time only, you can get a 25% bonus on any Tiger Dollar purchase, and included in your purchase, you'll gain access to an exclusive 4-hour live trading event with Tom O'Brien on November 19th called Strategies for Trading ETFs, a live trading event. The only way to gain access to this exclusive 4-hour workshop with Tom O'Brien, which includes live trading, is by purchasing Tiger Dollars as part of this promotion. Tiger Dollars can be used for any TFNN products and never expire, so now is a perfect time to get your 25% bonus. Don't delay, this will be our last Tiger Dollar promotion in 2013, so act today. For all the details and to get your 25% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase today while gaining access to Tom O'Brien's exclusive 4-hour online workshop and live trading session specifically on ETFs, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, we're going to start looking at hopefully something that's moving since the market is not. Of course, European markets closed earlier. We're back in sync with them finally. And UK FTSE was up 0.3. Germany's DAX was up 0.3%. France was up 0.7%. Spain 0.4. The weaker ones were a little bit more volatile. We're up a little more. Portugal up 1.1. And what can you say? Italy up 0.8. But just a little bit more push from Friday's surprise drop in interest rates as soon as our jobs numbers came out. Of course, gold not doing a whole lot for us today. And, you know, the COMEX metals actually closed $3.40 lower. We're getting awful close to that support level at 1270, 1272. But support kind of coming in here. Silver off about 4 cents, 21.28 for a close on the COMEX. And copper rose 1 cent, but $3.26, not really much of a move out here. And, of course, anything below that $3.30 for copper is going to be problematic for probably everything we do, because an excess of copper means people aren't building a lot of things with electricity out there. But kind of a very interesting market out here that doesn't know really which way to go now. but we'll look at it. We're going to look at some of the stocks that are moving out here. RIG, one of the big cap movers, RIG. Transocean rig up to its previous high. Should be able to have easily broken through the 55.79 today, which was the last high on May 17th. 8.4 million shares. Certainly had the volume today. It's about a nickel. I haven't done a current quote. Let's take a quick look here. Rig. There we go. Yeah, so yeah. 55.74 is still the high. So what do we have? Got another one of these stocks challenged in the highs. You get all kinds of volume, and it tucks right back in. Kind of everybody just prairie dog and put their head up and hoping it doesn't get shot off. But you could probably make a case too that the 54.39 on rig on March 4th was the high to be broken with 10 million shares. So we're certainly going to have that today. And, of course, you've got a huge gap down on 10 million shares, just down to $57. So I could imagine seeing this thing meander back up to maybe $57, but going to be a lot of energy expended up off this last low from October 9th. Let's go back to other stocks that are moving. Get my list up here. What do we have? BBY. BBY. This is a nice little gap back up. I've been in Best Buy probably 10 times over the last couple of weeks, buying some stuff for myself. And we're going to be doing a special the day after Thanksgiving for TFNN. Normally I do the Tech Insider Hour. We're going to do a lot of consumer products and who's doing well in that industry, and probably things that I would pick for gifts. And I was looking at some new laptops and some other neat toys that everybody's buying out there, and would think that it's kind of interesting to see just what people are spending their money out on. But Best Buy, a nice little pop out here. No kind of volume. We needed 9.4 million shares, and we've got about 5 million shares so far today. So I'm going to probably say that we're coming up light on this 44. I'm trying to remember when earnings are. I think that they are to earnings date. Earnings calendar. November 19th. So it's going to be a week from today. So probably this thing's going to meander up here waiting for their earnings call. Being in the stores, they've got a lot of stuff that's couldn't draw flies. They've got a handful of things that are buying, which is no laptops, tablets, a lot of tablets selling, a couple of new monitors, lots of televisions, lots of smartphones, and that's about it. You can throw stones and rocks and not hit anybody over in the white goods sections of the stores. In fact, those have gotten very, very much smaller. And, of course, some of the other areas not seeing a lot of action, although I did see a lot of end caps and promotions for games coming out for Xbox One this fall. But kind of interesting to see just what's going on. I try to stop in over the weekends. Went over there for lunch today to see what the traffic was and what people were looking at. But I don't think it's pretty much changed from over the weekend and over the 2 weeks. That is tablets, smartphones, and big screen televisions, which, by the way, are vastly cheaper at Walmart. The rest of the stuff, not so much. But, boy, I tell you what, it's awful hard to compete against Walmart in the LCD thin screen television market. I looked at one that was $500 at the Best Buy, and it was $330 at Walmart. I'm wondering if they sell any if people actually shop around. Other stocks of interest out here that we're going to look at that are moving to BX. This one is a possible buyout from a China firm, and that's the Blackstone Group. Bloomberg reporting its company is in talks with China Investment Corporation to sell a West London office development. So it's up 3.5% mostly for a market not moving too much. This thing broke out. It's got some nice high volume up here on the previous high at 28.73. Probably would need to go up there and challenge that. If we really had a bullish market out here, you'd probably want this thing to get back down to somewhere around $24 to think about buying it. Clack, downgrade, I believe. We talked about looking at Click and Clack last week as what's going on in the semiconductor space. Good one. Altera and Xilinx are another two. If you're really going to see which way the market's moving. Clack got down to 62.36, which is about 3% off. Downgraded negative from Susquehanna, although I don't know if that means much. I could have probably told you that already. There are very few amount of companies selling a lot of stuff and a lot of companies not selling much of anything, which is kind of my experience in Best Buy. And this thing looks like it really wants to get back down to the support area, which is going to be about 61, 62, and not that much. But, of course, another one of these stocks that really had some high volume and then instantly started selling off. He had 3 million shares up here at 67.05. Probably look for, if you had a market that really started taking off, maybe you'd get 67.05 today. But I suspect this thing wants to probably come back in the 61, 62 range. There's just not a lot in this sector to go through. Drys, someone's in the den, is DRYS. A little bounce out of here. Boy, you would really like Drys to get back down to that 265 level with 19 million shares. Find something in there. In fact, if it could get down to about 240, 250, had a valid breakout. It is now in the consolidation phase out here, but certainly would like to see something in that range of probably 245 to 255, 260, and have a very light volume back again. But this thing looks like it's not getting a lot of love yet today, so probably going to find back in here. But this will may be one of the better ones to grab a hold of after it consolidates out. But it's probably going to take a few more bounces around that 250 level before we get moving on. And we've got Marvel, MRVL. And it's Marvel Technology Group. This thing, some pretty nice volume up here to the top. Just so many of these stocks with high volume come up to the highs, and just like the turtle sticks his head out, instantly comes back in. This is still a dime short of the high, so we don't have an actual test yet. But even in the day of the 5th of November, where this thing did have 30 million shares, strong sign of strength. Normally I give these 3 days to have yet another sign of strength. We haven't had those. What's the earning date on this, just to make sure I didn't miss it? November 21st. So we've got about 10 days on this one. My guess is that probably meanders around there until we also get some kind of signal from them. But unfortunately, most of these companies that have failed hugely have not been giving warning signals before they just explode. But certainly a lot of volume, and 1350 is probably where this thing's hanging out until we get the earnings November 21st. Let's go back to my list of stuff. Riverbend took a poison pill. Let's take a look at that. RVBD. Okay, Riverbed Technology, of course, pushing right back up to the previous high within, 15 cents, 17 cents. On Friday, back down a little bit, and it's back down because of a poison pill issue, I think, in the stockholder rights plan that they shoved through. I think that, and people never like to see that, making it hard to buy out a company, but that's think what's happening in riverbed technology today. I think we talked a little bit about that on Friday or Thursday last week. What else do we have? DNR. Other stocks out here. It's off about 5%. Denbury Resources. This thing's been banging away at these highs. And, of course, this one actually got up to the high 4 cents to it with higher volume, and it still can't break through. And this is a pattern that's coming out in the market quite strongly. May 21st high, $19.65. 6.4 million shares got into it with a 9.4 million shares, certainly into that candle. Didn't break that high, so didn't prove the point. Would have loved to have seen it just go 4 cents higher out here. But it didn't make it, pulling back strongly, and seeing headlines that the company will not be considering MLP options. So this thing is not going to come out with a master limited partnership plan to sell itself off. And like a lot of these companies, moving down. Let's take a look at GoGo. Reported earnings this morning, and of course this one did have a nice little bounce, certainly a sign of strength. Get a little bit more information on GoGo. Provides in-flight, this is the internet connectivity and wireless in-cabin digital entertainment solutions from the United States. Of course, I suspect they had some nice stuff to say now that the FCC is going to let Wi-Fi out. But interesting move out here. Huge volume. I'd like this thing to come back down in that $20 range and get a shot at it. $24.85 the high today, but we'll have to keep an eye on this. No real equivocation here. This thing blew through 2.1 million shares on 5.1 million shares today. So not a big problem. Let's get rid of a few of these things. Let me clean up my desktop here. Let's see what else we had out here. TTM. As we look at more stocks that are moving out here. This one is, of course, Tata Motors in India. We've been talking about just how bad India had been and the problems that India had with their rupees being about worthless and just their currency going into the toilet. Of course, they had a nice run kind of when that has changed. This thing has been running back up. Actually got back up above the previous high out here on higher volume. It's pulled back in and has had a couple of days where this thing's certainly back in the trading range out here. But it's kind of hard to think that India is going to have any huge moves, even though it came back off the lows fairly strongly. It's kind of hard to believe that their economy is turning around that quickly. Still problematic at best. Rio was off a couple percent today. Rio Tinto, of course, everybody knows Rio Tinto, probably in the den. Mining, finding and processing mineral resources worldwide. Companies involved in mining and production of aluminum products, including bauxite, actually doing pretty well. Anyway, we'll talk about this a little bit more. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. Think about Tiger Dollars. You're thinking about Tiger Dollars.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And wanted to remind you that I don't know what it'll be that you're doing. Maybe flip a light switch, turn on some water to wash your hands. You're going to feel that cold water rolling over your hands, maybe the feel of the slick soap on it, and you're going to remember that it's time to go get some Tiger Dollars. Yes, it is. It is our semi-annual Tiger Dollar sale, and it is begun. But you only have a few days left. It only runs through the 17th. And, of course, one of the best ways to improve your purchasing power by 25% at TFNN, you can get either one of my newsletters or the Art of Timing the Trade software or other things at TFNN. Always transferable, so it doesn't matter what you get. You can always trade off and change it for something else, but certainly a way to get cash and get the most bang for your buck at TFNN. Hopefully they're showing off that on the Tiger TV screen, but we'll talk about this a little bit more tomorrow. So we're talking about the canaries in the coal mine. We want to look at Altera, Xilinx. We want to look at some of those other click and clack companies to see just how well the semiconductor business is doing. Of course, Altera off a little bit today. Volume not that big. Certainly it looks like it could get back into the $32.01 low. We saw a week, 10 days ago on October 23rd. Has 14 million shares. You probably get a good indication that that would be at least some level of support back in that probably $31.50 to $32 area. You're probably going to see fairly decent support, and that's what we're going to want to be watching here over the next few days. Other things, well, let's take a look at the SMHs. We talked about this making a high a couple of weeks ago. Still watching this. You had two highs up there. The volume was about the same. Again, higher volume than what we saw back out here. When was that? September 19th. But even on these volumes, it just seems like every time you get up there, the sellers start coming back in. I suspect we are in a sell mode in the market and will be for probably months to come. Like Andreessen Horowitz starting to sell its shares of Facebook, probably going to see more and more stocks out here finding themselves into big distribution levels. And of course, we've seen some of them blow apart on this, probably a little less in the semiconductor space. But just be very wary about some of these stocks that are at very tall highs. Of course, we saw kind of a interesting top in Facebook out here, and I have a feeling it's probably because that area with Twitter coming out, it had a lot of froth in it. We're probably going to get back to some levels where Facebook can actually find some support. $45.26. Boy, you'd love to get that tested. Of course, even a higher volume day out here at 46.50 that's been sold back off to. So probably the make or break point is going to be around that $45 level when we come back and test the bottom of that spike. And of course, it breaks there, you're probably going to be looking back down to $36.02. Of course, this one found a lot of weaknesses right after earnings. It had gotten up to what? $62 or something after hours, but as soon as they started talking about the problem with retaining young viewers on Facebook, this thing has been sliding, and I think exit stage left is probably the right thing to do on this stock. Anyway, we enjoyed our time together. Hopefully you'll be here tomorrow between 2 and 3 so you can witness our show live. And, of course, as always, we'll be back tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Are you ready to ride the next bull market wave? Catch the Chapman Wave. Using the Chapman Wave methodology, Basil's very comprehensive daily newsletter, The Opening Call, gives the short, intermediate, long-term analysis for the key indexes. In his Trader's Corner, he gives a brief market summary and expectation for the day with possible trades, both long and short, which are reviewed daily. A position subscribers sold recently for a 42% on part, plus a 64% on rest. And Hertz Global has a core position for 6 months before exiting the position. A current position, entered as a turnaround company with good technicals based on Basil's waveform, is trading up to 170% of its entry point as a portion sold earlier for a 21% gain. Subscribers to the Opening Call can see the Chapman Wave techniques demonstrated and explained daily to educate investors. To get your 2-week free trial, do the Opening Call. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on TFNN.